This is the plaintiff, Miguel Hernandez. He says he sold his laundromat business to the defendant and the man's stiffing him on money he still owes him. He's now gone into debt on his credit card. His credit score is taking a beating, and he's here seeking the $2,075.34 he's owed. This is the defendant, Eric Pecunia. He says he knows nothing about this credit card payment the plaintiff's claiming he owes him for and thinks this is a frivolous lawsuit. Apparently, he used this credit card to pay off the landlord the back rent he owes. There's nothing in his contract about owing it, and he thinks the very smart judge is going to agree. He's accused of not getting taken to the cleaners.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
okay, Salsa Laundromat Incorporated and Miguel Hernandez and Nora Cano, who you have power of attorney for. You are suing Eric Pecunia, who bought your business for $2,000 some odd because you say he actually owes you $27,000. What are you talking about? What happened in this case?
On January 3rd, he was recommended from a mutual person that worked in the industry because I was doing dry cleaning and laundry, and so was he, and I was going to fold the business on that day. I made arrangements to pay my creditors and sell all my equipment, and he walked in hour before that happened, stopped the whole thing, and I, made sure that he was really interested because people were renting trucks to pull the equipment out and all that, and I had to pay for all that. So he said, yeah. And so that day, I showed him what he wanted, the utility bills and the lease. And then I had to show him this document.
Which is what?
Which is the agreement. I was in court with the landlord, and the increase in my rent was going to $1,000 in July, I believe. And
what'd you go to court with your landlord for?
I went to the court. I stopped paying her rent because the increase was too steep.
Right, but you didn't pay her the other rent either. Not the $1,000, but nothing. How long had you not been paying rent?
Not sure because
how much rent did you owe? Look at the settlement. How much rent did you owe?
I had to give her $25,000 towards leaving a balance of $30,000.
So you owed $50,000 in back rent?
About 50. Well.
And how much was your rent per month?
$3,200.
Okay, so you have been in arrears for quite a bit of time. You sold your business to him for how much?
I really didn't sell the business. I paid $100,000 for the business, and I let him have it at about. I asked for $10,000 and free wash. I gave it to him for $5,000 and free wash.
Wait, $10,000 and what?
I asked him for $10,000 cash, and so that I could continue to wash my clothes there.
Your personal clothing?
My personal stuff.
Okay.
Permanently, because I didn't sell the business to him.
You didn't sell the business?
Not really, because the business, the market.
If you didn't sell the business to him, why are you suing him today to pay debts of the business?
Because we made an agreement that he would give me $5,000 and I would get the free wash permanently.
Okay.
Okay, so I let him take over the business at that point. I don't feel like I was really selling it because
So what were you doing? Why was he giving you $5,000?
Well, to take over the business, he had to give me something. I just couldn't give it to him.
So you sold him the business for $5,000?
Pretty much. Pretty much. I sold it to him for $5,000, you could say.
Okay, why do you then think he also owes, you apparently had to pay the landlord $25,000. And how did you pay that $25,000?
The business had a credit line of $25,000 from American Express. It was there all the time.
Always there. All right. So you took the credit line, got $25,000 from a card that the business had, paid the landlord that, and your opinion and the reason you've come to court is that you think he's responsible to pay that?
That's not exactly how this worked out.
I don't even understand your laws because you're asking for $1,600. You amended it today to $2,075. What is $2,075? That represents what?
The payments that he didn't make towards the card when he took over the business.
Oh, towards the card where you took out $25,000 to pay for your back rent?
That was the agreement, for him to take all the expenses, and then I would sign the business over to him.
When are you planning on paying the $25,000? Are you ever going to pay down the credit card?
I made an agreement with him to take over the business and all the expenses. If he took the business, he had to take all the expenses with it, because I really didn't.
So your plan is to never pay the $25,000 and for him to pay the carrying cost of the $25,000 you never pay?
My plan was...
Is that right? I think that's right. I think that's what you're saying.
The deal that I made with Eric Pecunia was for him, if he wanted the business, to take over all the expenses
So
of the
I am
business.
asking you a very direct question, and I need a very direct answer. So you're saying any interest and fees on the $25,000 in perpetuity he has to pay, and the $25,000 you never have to pay back, right?
That was one of the payments that he had made.
Okay.
One of the
What
payments.
is going on?
7 months ago, we had come together through an acquaintance.
Yeah, you bought his business.
Acquaintance, right.
And how much did you buy his business for?
$5,000 what he was
Okay.
asking.
Do you have paperwork from that sale?
Yes, we have the contract.
Okay. And does that paperwork say anywhere that you're supposed to pay interest on his credit cards because that is a debt that belongs to the business and not him, et cetera, et cetera?
Says nothing
Did you
in-
keep his business name?
I did not keep the business name. It's now
We
Clothesline
did
Laundromat.
take-
Just a moment, sir.
Sorry.
It is now Clothesline Laundromat 2 because I own another laundromat. It's named Clothesline 1 in Great Killstown.
It is now Clothesline 2.
Yes.
And what was the name when he had it?
It was Salsa Laundromat.
Right.
Salsa
It was
Inc.
Salsa Laundromat.
Right, and that's the credit card was Salsa Inc. / Miguel Hernandez. Hernandez is also on the credit card. His name, his personal name is on the card. And when, because he took the card out, the business didn't come with the card when he bought the business. He took the card out in the name of the business to get his credit through the business credit.
Right.
So that's how he got that card that he's asking me to pay.
When was the first time you heard about, what was the first time he called you and said, hey, you're going to pay off this card? Like,
That
when
was just coincidentally a couple of days after I finished paying his all the money in the back arrears and the rent, the $5,000 for the
So
business.
wait, you paid $5,000 to him, but the contract also requires you to pay some of his back rent.
And that's all
How
done.
much of his back rent did you pay?
$11,000, and that's all paid.
Oh, so you paid $11,000 plus $5,000, so you ended up paying really $16,000.
Plus his water bill, which is around $2,000, electric bill
Now,
and gas
isn't it
bill.
better for you just to find a location and open up your...
No, it's a good location, and they're building
Oh,
up
because you also got all the equipment and stuff.
the equipment. I know, but the dryers I'm still liable to pay, which is $58,000, which is also another $1,300 a month. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's quite a bit. So it's close.
So
It's
why
actually,
was it better to do this?
than to buy another laundromat?
Yeah.
Well, another laundromat, if I would have started from scratch, would be about $500,000 to
Oh,
build
okay.
it.
Show me the paperwork from your sale and show me the settlement, please.
This is when he took...
Why are you saying he's still using Salsa Laundromat?
I had to sign it over to him, the corporation. It's right there. And I'm assuming that's... He handed me that contract
Well,
himself.
that's because, you know how you kept saying that you didn't sell him the business? What this says is seller owns 100% of the membership interest and is selling it to the defendant. That's exactly what you did. You sold it to him. And when you did that, you agreed that the following would be the terms. He'd give you $5,000, so you'd have $5,000 in your pocket. He would pay all the outstanding water bills, electric bills, gas bills, telephone bills for the premises. He would pay the note for the dryers to Dexter Financial. You're out of all that, where your name was on those things and you would have had to pay all this stuff. So where in this document do you think he is obligated to pay your, either your, I guess, your $25,000 debt plus the interest in that line of credit that you took out, which you took out in your name and your company's name before he bought it, in order to give to a landlord when you were in a pickle in landlord-tenant court, so that you'd be able to sell it to him. Tell me where in that contract he agrees to take over that credit card.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. When is it that you need a lawyer to protect you in a deal? When does that kind of click in?
Whenever there's a lot of money at stake, but it would be hard to say exactly what the threshold is in terms of monetary.
But money. Okay,
Yeah.
I buy that.
I would say whenever you don't know anything about the situation, you gotta ask for legal advice.
You know what? That's good too. Don't screw it up because you had two good ones.
I mean, if I was in that kind of case, I'd definitely just get a lawyer whenever I start getting that gut feeling. That gut feeling like maybe this isn't going to go the way I want it to go. Let me call up my friend.
I got to tell you, those are three really good answers going inside the courtroom.
Page 4, incur or cancel any debt or claims. And so I couldn't touch the card, put money on it, I couldn't cancel it or anything. So this was all part of the company.
You couldn't pay your dets?
No. What I'm saying, Your Honor, is that
you know what? Just stop saying anything.
He wanted to take over.
This is the silliest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. You have a 4-page, 5-page agreement selling the business, and never anywhere does it say anything about him having to pay interest on the credit card that you took out in your company name, which he doesn't use to operate his laundromat. You've sued only for the interest on it, and your position is, I took out a line of credit, I paid off my landlord, and I never have to pay that. He's supposed to pay in perpetuity the money to carry that debt so that I come out completely clean. It's crazy. It's not in here.
Your Honor, just one more thing here.
What's a promissory note here?
That was probably for the back rent that I paid for him.
You actually have a promissory note from him that says, these are the payments I'm going to make for back rent. It has everything laid out. Where's the rest of it? Where's the American Express card? Verdict for the defendant.
Well, the plaintiff doesn't have proof to convince the judge, and that's not a good day for you here in court. What are you thinking?
The judge really didn't let me talk when I needed to talk. I'm not like court savvy and any of that.
I know, but she let you talk. She looked at the document.
There was a document here she didn't see, and I was trying to get it to her, and she didn't look at it, obviously.
Why didn't you give it to her?
I tried to. She kept denying me the opportunity.
But you showed her the contract for the sale. It wasn't in the contract.
I asked her to look at the contract, to show it to him, to see if it's a contract that he gave me, and she didn't.
I'm sorry, sir.
I know. Thank you so much. It's not over here. It's just the beginning.
You must sign a few documents. You did not do it right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I made a mistake here.
Let me ask you, Mr. Pecunia, was there another document he's talking about?
It's all the same contract.
All the same contracts. That's what it was. That's what I thought I saw the judge say herself. Yeah, same contract.
Yes, absolutely.
This is a mess.
Not a mess anymore.
But it's not for you anymore.
Not a mess anymore.
You're
it's all
off the
cleared
hook.
up. I never was on the hook. I shouldn't have been on the hook in the first place.
Okay.
Hey, another great day above ground. What can I say?
Good way to put it. Another great day above ground. I got to remember that.
Every day above ground's a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations. All right, thank you, ma'am. That's a very interesting case. Tough lesson for the plaintiff. Harvey?
I mean, look, these guys were all right. I mean, all of the things, money and everything else. But when you have a complex deal, and think about it, buying and selling a laundromat, I mean, it's like, okay, it's a laundromat. No, there are all sorts of things about liabilities, assets. Whenever it is really complex, do not do it yourself.